Hello, and thank you for buying this 3DR drone. I think it's going to give you many flights of enjoyment. So I just wanted to do this quick video to show you how to get it together and how to fly it. So this is the drone, and I wanted you to note that the direction of the propellers is props in. This is following the ArduPilot documentation. I'm just going to quickly show you that that is the direction with counterclockwise, clockwise, clockwise, and counterclockwise. Okay, so this is documented in the ArduPilot wiki, so you can reference it there. Now, this is a 5000 4S battery. It is not included as part of the drone, but this is the type of battery that I've used on these drones. The straps will come here, so you just want to get a similar battery to that, strap it there. It's a 4S 5000, and it's a really good size to fly this drone. You should get about around 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how you fly the drone, for your drone. The way that you plug it in is with the XT60 connectors. So first of all, I'm going to turn on the radio. This is a TX16 radio, but it's compatible with Spectrum. So I just want to quickly show you the way that it's set up. Okay. So in my case, I start with all the switches forward and up, and I am on the model for the drone. Anyway, you would then connect your drone right here. Turn it on. Okay. Now, this drone comes with a telemetry radio included. So I typically fly it with the antenna down just to keep the antenna out of the way, but you could also have it with the antenna up. So at first, you see this light flashing. Of course, you need to push the hardware safety switch. When that goes solid red, it means that you would be ready to arm the drone. Now, before we do anything, I want to quickly show you how the radio is set up. And for that, what I'm going to do is this is included radio. You need to supply your own USB cable. But once you plug it into the computer will recognize it. And the way to know for sure what the serial port is, you want to take a look here. This is the device manager window. And in the device manager window, you can see that it's using the serial port COM31. So you select COM31 on the screen, and then you select 57600 as the baud rate, and then you click connect. So at this point, the computer is communicating via this radio to our drone. And you can see that it's working on getting the parameters. Now, I turned the volume off on the computer because otherwise it starts giving a lot of messages. So if you start hearing messages, that's just the mission planner. Now, ever since I flashed this firmware, they came out with a version 4.15. You could potentially upgrade, but you don't have to immediately. So I'm just going to say okay, basically ignore the message. But as you can see here, it's already receiving data. It's telling me that the drone is disarmed and it's in stabilized mode. So for this particular setup, the mode switch is switch E here. It's a 3-position switch. So when I click on it, it will switch from stabilize to altitude hold, and one more changes the mode to loiter mode. Now that sound that you heard means it's not ready because it doesn't have a solid GPS lock. But that's because we are indoors. So I'm gonna go back to stabilize mode, which is probably the best mode to start with. What I want to show you is the setup screen under mandatory hardware, radio calibration. So I put together a set of instructions for you. And what I want you to do is come into this screen. And first of all, confirm that your radio is set up the right way. So when I move the roll stick to the left, you should see this. So it's moving to the left, to the right. Okay, and then elevator down. Now, if you notice, the bar went up, and when I push up, the bar goes down. So that seems reversed, but that's the way that it's expecting it. Throttle is down, and throttle is up, and we can see the bar going up and down. And then for rudder left, we get the bar moved to the left, and rudder right, the yaw bar moves to the right. Okay, so I think I just armed it. There we go, I just disarmed it. Now, this drone will arm in two ways, and you saw that it is taking rudder arming when the drone is disarmed, throttles hold the way down and to the right, and you hold it, it will arm, and to the left, it will disarm. So that would be one way if you had fewer channels on the radio. Other than that, I have set up an arming channel here on this switch, and that is set up. I put together these instructions. On channel 7 is the arm and disarm. So as you will see, when I move this switch, channel 7 is gonna go up, and the drone is gonna make that noise. Listen. That means the drone is armed, and it would start spinning the propellers, okay? But we're indoors, so I'm gonna disarm immediately. Okay, so you would go through the radio calibration, click on the calibrate radio button, and do that. Now, once you've done the radio calibration, you can come and do the accelerometer calibration. I'm not gonna go through it. I already did it on this drone, but I do recommend that when you get it, you do it again. And then you're gonna get a compass. And there are 2 compasses on this drone. The first compass is internal to Pixhawk, and the second compass is on the 3DR GPS and compass. So the I2C that is on the screen is the external. You can see the external box is checked. I recommend that you only keep that one. So that one was moved up and is now compass 1. Compass 2 is the one integrated into the SPI, which means it's the one inside the ArduPilot into the Pixhawk. But I've only enabled compass 1. I recommend that you keep it that way and only use compass 1, as it is more stable. Now, when you get the drone, and after you get GPS lock, and you can see the GPS lock on the data screen, under the quick tab, you see it's got 7 satellites. So you would go back to the setup compass, and you could start the compass calibration on this button that says start. At that point, you basically rotate the drone on the roll axis, on the yaw axis, and pitch, roll, and yaw, basically. And then you're gonna see the bar for MAG1, MAG is compass, it would go green. Once you've done that, then you pretty much would be ready to fly. The ESC calibration is already done, and I provided some instructions and some suggestions for what to do after your first flight and how to do that first flight. Of course, you first want to make sure that your channels are set up per the instructions. My radio outputs multiple channels, so when I put it into the channel monitor, you're gonna see that, I'm outputting channels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I actually have channel 7 is the arm disarm. Then I have a mode switch is channel 5. I also happen to have a couple more channels here, which are channels 8 for Autotune, which is this switch. And then the last one that I have is channel 9. I have this configured to return to launch. So that would be on the next page. It should be channel 9. Okay. So if you want to have a setup just the way I shipped it, you would need a radio with those channels. Otherwise, you're going to need to go to the ArduPilot documentation and set up a basic setup. For example, for a 6 radio, you would use 4 channels for the sticks. You would probably arm with a rotor and maybe channel 5 for the modes and channel 6 for the return to home. So that's another way to set it up. And again, you would need to go visit the ArduPilot documentation for that. Okay, so this is the connection for the telemetry. You can also connect directly. If you were connected to your computer, you could not plug this in here and instead connect directly to the USB port that is in there. In the Pixhawk, you will see this better when you get it because it's a little bit hard to see that USB connector, but I think you can get a glimpse of it there. And that's really it. So as long as you have the propellers in the right location and you calibrate your radio correctly, you should be able to fly. After the first flight, what it's going to do is it's going to establish the throttle learn position. And then there's a couple of parameters in the instructions that I'm going to send you that you can use to finalize the setup. Okay, so hopefully that was useful. I hope that you really enjoy your drone, that you have a great experience, and provide me some feedback. Thank you very much. Enjoy your drone. Bye.